Welcome everyone. Good morning, Astrobate. What's up? How's my volume? The mic should be working this morning. I'm not as sure about the drop frames. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Silver lining. Saving the game a draw, or did you play like me and systematically decrease your winning chances? This game should have been a draw. I was walking around the room while my opponent was losing the last of his time, and I didn't think that I can lose, that it wasn't possible. This was the last move from my opponent. My king is in a bad position, but it's still not enough to lose the game. If my king is in a good position, I mean, I could even be winning with my king on b8. I'm probably winning here. We're live. Do we have sound, Astrobate? Can you hear me? Because we had microphone problems yesterday. Stekau. See, the danger that I was explaining to you, Astrobate, is that there's always a chance if you're in a chess game you can lose. You can never ever let your guard down. The moment that you let your guard down, you can lose. How could I lose this position? I defended for like 5 hours. And I'm walking around the room, the guy's down to 5 minutes. It's a draw. What I didn't realize, there is a way to lose this position, and I found it. I'm ready to come to grips with this. He plays rook a1, and the problem was that previously there were h-pawns on the board. Black had a pawn on h6, I had a pawn on h4. And in that position with my pawn on h3, I had a pawn on h3, I had a pawn on h6. That I later played h4, traded it off. If his king had gone to f4 and into g3 and won my h-pawn, I'm going to lose. So I had been working on the, you know, concept that I can't allow his king to come to f4. I don't want to allow his king to come to f4, but in this position it doesn't matter anymore. You know, even if his king gets to f4, there's no weak pawn on h3 here. I mean, my pawns are f3, a6, and g4. And they're both, you know, both these pawns are protected by the bishop on b7. The problem is that I thought I couldn't lose. I have this impression I have unlimited waiting moves. The problem is that black had one last trick. I played for 5 hours with no sleep to reach this position. It's unbelievable. I mean, don't use a computer because it's very easy to figure it out with an engine. White is not losing in this position, of course not. So black is some kind of, I wouldn't, no, it's, you know, it's funny, it's not Zugzwang. There's actually no Zugzwang. That's my impression, was like, I can't get Zugzwang. You know, my bishop has unlimited waiting moves. My king has waiting moves. You know, it's not easy to get a Zugzwang in a bishop or rook endgame. But actually I can get mated. That's the really sick thing. So in this position, white has only one move. Literally one move. I blundered and lost here. You know, under the impression that he can't make progress. This is the problem. I have the impression that my opponent cannot make progress here. I was keeping his king away. So I'm keeping his king out of f4. My last move was king g3. Now he plays rook a1. There's nothing. There's nothing like that. His king was on e2 before. My king was on g2 before. His rook's on a3. There's no zugzwang or anything like that. The problem is this. Check. I play bishop c8. Now my bishop's unprotected. Check. And what I missed was, when I play king h2, attacking his rook, he can come here. Now if I push my pawn to a7, he plays rook a8 and wins the pawn and wins the game. So I have to play bishop b7. Now he has time to play this. And if I play a7, he plays rook c7 and mate on h7. Or wins my pawn. I can't believe what an idiot I am, you know? It's just so stupid. Like, all I have to do is play king g2 and there's no way for black to win. It's totally drawn. If he comes in here, it's no problem. Like, king f2, check, king here, king here, king here. Do what you want. If my king gets up here, you're, like, maybe even losing. There's literally no way to zugzwang me. See, why is the king and rook against king winning, right? Because, like, you can do this kind of thing. Cut me off, you know? But you can't here. Because I'll play a7. You have no way to do like a normal checkmate with rook and king against king. Oh man, I wanted to kill myself. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. He had like 5 minutes left. I had more. I must have had at least 10 minutes. I just thought it was over. It's just a draw. I was waiting for him to offer a draw. It's so sick. I defended really well down the exchange for a pawn to reach this position. It was a good game. But that's the most dangerous thing, like when you think that you can't lose. This is not the first horrible endgame blunder I've made in the last couple of years. But it is probably the most like shocking and simplistic. I mean, I pride myself on being a good endgame player, but man, I don't know, you know. I blame it on being tired, but honestly, I just did not see the threat. You know, check here, rook a1, king g2, draw. I played this thinking I have unlimited waiting moves. It's over. Once my king is forced to this bad position, now I can get mated on h2. Yeah, it's a disaster. And this is in the Hungarian or the Budapest Team Championship. So my team, it's not just like me that's an idiot. I ruined a game for my team. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I can't believe it. Anyway, like, talking about the game is therapeutic. I just had this rule in my mind that I wasn't going to let his king come to f4 as if he was making progress. But he's not making progress. I'm just walking away. Check here. King e3, king d1. You know, whatever. I'm going to walk over here. King d3, king c1, king c3. He can't even go here now. This is a little tricky. This might actually be a blunder. Could I be in trouble here after rook a5, bishop c8? Let's see what the computer says. No, it's still a draw. But I don't think it's a good idea to go into the side like that. King c3, it's better to go toward the center. Yeah. Don't give him any tricks. It's totally drawn. Anyway, I promised yesterday I would show this position, how I lost. No, we're not doing a simul. It's Monday morning and I don't have time for a simul. We have 2 hours plus Blitz stream, 5+3 challenges. Sumeher. We're taking the subscriber challenges first. Spider-Man Web. What is that? Your Blitz rating's 1900. Oh no, Casabianca. Stalker. They're stalking me. Casabianca yesterday. Interesting. Interesting game. I have a stalker. It's a good player. Alright, Druve goal. Sumeher. Stekau. Stex. So that was painful, man. I mean, I lost 8 rating points in a totally drawn position. Well, actually, I lost 6. The draw was like 1.5, 2 points. The draw was 2 points. The loss was 8. I love how I have to play 2200 IMs. 2200 IM Sandbagger. I mean, he's old, but not that old. Alright. Here we go. Slav. Blitz chess. Good simul yesterday, everybody. Thanks for playing. This is lame. I don't know. The other thing I did yesterday, which was very risky, was to play. It was a bad call, man. I was irrational. I played e4. The whites have a marshal. But that was a bad idea to do that. I mean, it was not smart. I mean, you do that if you're in good form. I was tired. I hadn't had enough sleep. This is not the situation. When you're tired, you didn't have enough sleep, you're late to the game, and you play e4 when it's, you know, not your main opening. Bad idea. The London no. This is like a London no for him. Bishop f5. It's a London reversed, actually. Welcome everyone to the stream. Master of losing drawn endgames. I always find some inventive way to lose. Lately it's always seeming to be endgames that I lose. It's really weird. Usually it's an endgame. Queen c7 is a strange placement for the queen. Has to be, you know, I don't remember now our game. It was so long ago. Can you remind me what the opening was? There were so many games yesterday and you resigned pretty early. Too early. Reverse. Queen's Gambit. So that's all the rating points I gained in my last tournament with this idiotic loss in a drawn position. I'm so pissed at myself. That's what you get for staying out all night and trying to play chess the next day. You were minus 0.5. This is very dynamic. I mean, I might be able to castle queenside here. Might. Welcome everybody to the stream. We had a good simul. I had a good night's sleep, which is unusual for me. I was so tired. So if I castle, you can play knight a6. Yeah. There's also bishop d6 and f4. Knight a6 is probably not a bad move for black. I'm gonna castle. You're depressed yourself. You lost to a 12-year-old yesterday. I lost to like a 65-year-old. The guy played well though. I mean, I give him credit. Would I have knight b5 now? No. Why must I play this titled player? Alright. Why couldn't I get an easy 2200? Not someone who used to be like a really good master. Why did I play e4 when I was short of time? In the super sharp opening. I played the marshal with white, and then I had to like spend 45 minutes on one move. Because he played some weird novelty that's never been played before. All these things had to happen. Don't play an opening you don't know, or well, you don't know well, when you have shortness of time. I came to the game like 20 minutes late. Seems like a good time to play something that you don't know really well. I was overconfident. Oh, right, Astrobate, right. It was a Scandinavian, okay. So, remind me now? It was knight... Okay, I played g6. Oh, yeah. But I don't remember what happened. Oh, it was the endgame. Okay, it wasn't a bad game. But you resigned prematurely or something? Yeah, I was surprised when that game like fell out of the list. I didn't know where it went. What happened? You were like down a pawn? No, I mean I overslept. I had to take a taxi to my ride, where I would get picked up normally. I literally woke up like 15 minutes before my game was supposed to start. I had to like throw my clothes on, not even take a shower, run to the... get a taxi, get there. Luckily, like, even just 20 minutes late was like a miracle. And then I played the white side of the marshal. I didn't want a marshal, I just wanted to play something interesting. It wasn't like I was planning on the guy to play the marshal. But once I got there, I was like, well, what am I going to do? That's what I play. I guess I could have played something else. I just don't know the anti-marshal, really. I know that's all very trendy. The anti-marshal is extremely trendy now. You know, maybe it's like not even a good choice, probably. Because it's so trendy. What am I doing? Alright. I mean, the anti-marshal is practically the main line. It seems like no one allows the marshal. People probably know the anti-marshal better. But it was still a bad idea to even play e4. The problem is I've been playing e4 a lot, mostly lately online, and I just was in the mood to play e4. I gamed to the board with 65 minutes or something, 70 minutes. Came to the board with 70 minutes or less, spent 45 minutes on one move at move 15. So at move 15 I had like 20 minutes left. In a sharp position where black has compensation for the sacrificed pawn. So then I thought more, and I ended up having like 30-second increments for 20 moves. So like at least there was another time control. He had such a strong attack, I had to sack the exchange to hang on. I say brilliantly. And then I lose that ending after defending like a freaking genius. It's so sick. I deserve to draw. How do I win this position? My deformed pawns. Weight is better. Tazake, how are you? Yeah, I had recently looked at the anti-martial black doing d5 anyway with one of my students, Stekau. An old friend of mine played like that with black years ago. Yeah, you can do that, but it's not considered really as good. Good defense here. Black's really hanging tough. I decided not to trade the second set of rooks, hoping that I could get something going on with the rooks on the board. Keep it complex. I feel really sick. But I'm going to stop crying about my bad beat story. No one likes a bad beat story. Speaking of defense. Here? Wow. I wonder if my king can actually go up. Or is that even necessary? He's defending this pretty well. Wow. How do I win this? What a battle. That's my first game today. Nothing major. It's a 70 move endgame. Alright. Wow. I hope you had as much fun as I did. So, just to warm up, we're playing 70 move endgames. Spider-Man Web. This player has 100 games. Exactly. Really, 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 really exaggerated rating, though. Your rapid is 400 points higher than your blitz rating? That's pretty weird. That's extremely high rapid rating. Alright. Anyway, we should play the subscribers first. I've got a rated challenge 5+0 from a player who doesn't have enough games. That's not happening. You gotta have 100 games. We're gonna play Casabianca next. Did we lose one of the subscribers who was challenging? Tezake or anybody else? Astrobate? Dude, you're driving me crazy with this. This opening is driving me nuts. You gotta stop this. Play something else. Alright. Yeah, B-Jock, that was too much for Monday morning. What the heck is this? The alternate. Yeah, I don't know what this is even. Is this theory? You can win a pawn with bishop b8. That's okay with me. I'll do that. tricky opening. I don't know, man. I don't really study this because no one generally plays it. But I got a little frustrated. Knight c3, d5, d4. We're going to have to put more work into this. The problem is it's very, you know, very low reward. Not enough people play the Verisov to really justify spending a lot of time on it. I can study for hours, but like just one player I'm gonna beat if I learn it. Normally I don't play c5. I decided to try it. He actually went for the pawn. It's really greedy and loses, you know, it loses the initiative for white. But it's probably fine. I mean, maybe objectively it's okay for white, but this player, I think, stylistically would do better to play something more dynamic. You know, maybe it's all good. So my rook is hanging. Yeah, there will be a check on b5 too. So that's a problem. Hanging rook. If bishop there, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to play this. I don't love it, but it looks playable. I love it. I don't love it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a greedy pawn grab by white. I would say that's not his normal style. Vignesh, we play people who are subscribers first. If there's a really weird challenge here with this absurd time control, 4 + 5. No, it's simple. 5 + 3, casual. That's the only time control. That way we keep it simple. We keep it easy to understand. Yes? Then there's no questions what time control we're playing. That's it. Yeah, white's variation. Wow. Wow. Queen g7. Then the question is, do I play king e7 or do I take on c3 and go into the ending? King e7 castles, and then you have a second choice. King e7 castles, bang, 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 bang. I mean, king e7... This endgame seems alright for black. I like playing endgames like a pawn down against Casabianca. Like yesterday's Simul game. We have a slightly better structure, I guess, in a way. Not really, though. I mean, we both have isolated pawns, right? So somehow his are more, you know, this H pawn is hard for him to attack. His pawns are more vulnerable than mine. The B pawn is somewhat vulnerable. Vulnerability of isolated pawns is slightly lower on black's side. We also have a strong center. I've become really big on that pawn center thing. Same thing yesterday, actually, against this player in the Simul. I had a very strong center, and that pawn saved my butt, like even in the end game, actually. Even in the end game, the pawn saved me. Okay, So king d2 might be expected at some point. b5, king d2, b4. I don't like that. Let's play this. If he takes on h7, can his bishop get trapped? I imagine it's possible. I like my knight on c3. So for example, king d2, rook hc8, bishop takes h7, f5, bishop g6, king f6. You know, that's pretty dangerous. I'm going out on a limb, literally. I think it's better to play bishop e8, but I didn't want to disrupt my coordination. Maybe I should just play rook bc8 at some point. Rook bc8 instead of rook hc8. Welcome everyone to the stream. Congratulations to me for losing my team game in just trivially drawn position yesterday. So embarrassing. Pride myself on good endgame play. It's just so sad. It's so sad. Here we go again. That bishop is becoming a menace to society. We had the same type of endgame in the simul against Casabianca yesterday. Nice job. Alright. Monster Knight. Who's the Monster Knight? I know. I have knight e2 check, but that's not going to cut it. Oh, I get it. What if I check first? King f2, rook c2. If I check first, king h1, then play like e4. Wow, this is really weird. He's such a quick thinker. Makes him a very dangerous opponent. Right. King g6, g4. King e6, rook d2. I guess I'm gonna have to do this. I don't like it though. That's all there is to it. That's all I can do. It is what it is. Wonder if I should go to d7. Strange as that seems. The irony. No. Threatening the fork. Super Knight. Super Knight, Super King. Super pawn. What's happening here? It's always a bad sign when you don't know what's happening. It usually means like you're not seeing something like... Sometimes you overthink though. That is a super knight. Giganto. His name is Giganto, the knight. It's the biggest knight of all time. A knight to remember. Check. Check. Let's draw. Yeah, I'm a pawn down. I mean, I've been a pawn down the entire game. I don't know. It is a mega knight. I'm not a pawn down anymore. Forgot, but whatever. I felt like I was a pawn down. I just got it back on A3. I forgot. All right. When you're down the entire game, you're down a pawn. You're like, oh, I'm still down a pawn. I just didn't even consider getting it back. Ronak Agrawal. Yeah, we do private lessons. If someone's really interested, you can send me an email. My email is in my Twitch and lichess profiles. You can send me a message. All right. Hey, it's Miro. Who else is a subscriber? Aaron Sebastian, no. Freddy Krueger, no. Freddy challenged me to 5-2. He's cheating on the time control. It's 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3. Freddy Krueger. Send me 5 plus 3. If I start changing the increment, it messes me up. I'm used to the 3 seconds. Alright, yeah, thank you. So, hey, it's Miro. Subscriber to the stream, guys. Subscribers play first when we do these streams on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Fridays, I just take challenges in order. Today is a Monday, I think. I'm recovering from a very rough weekend. I had a rough poker session, and though I didn't lose that much, it was pretty nasty. And Sunday I lost a drawn position in my Budapest team championship, which was heartbreaking. Not just a little drawn. I showed everybody when I started the stream today. It was a fortress, an impenetrable fortress that was penetrated. Alright, what are we gonna do here with Miro? We're getting a little bit bored with playing the same line all the time. Let me try something different. Alright, what's up with bishop e5 check? One of Astrobait's opponents played this once. I think it's kind of a rare move. Aaron Sebastian's is my main account. Are you a subscriber on Aaron Sebastian's? Aaron Sebastian and Aaron Sebastian D. I forgot. I can't keep track. If you're a subscriber, I'll take your challenge. This is kind of the laptop. That account in tab. How can my bishop get to a6 from here? Well, you have to play, I don't know, knight bd7. You're out of prep. This is some kind of rare line. But it's very logical. Maybe I should play bishop e2 there, huh? Huh? Did I make a boo-boo? Well, no, not necessarily. I think we're transposing to Farago Ivanville. I lost once against the Czech Grandmaster Stochek in this type of line. Kusha. Yeah, we see that. You mean on lichess? I have all these new players. Aaron, I guess, the subscriber. After that, I'll just start taking random challenges from people with 100 games or more. I only have about 2 hours to play, less than 2 hours to play, so we'll play as many games as we can. Just hurt my soul to lose this game. Okay. Do you give advice to players after defeating them? I try to give advice during the game, but if people have specific questions, you can ask me if you want advice on something after the game, you know. This is an interesting system. I don't think that bishop b5 is considered to be a main choice, but I wonder about my retreat. You know, maybe I made a mistake here. If I come back to e2, you know, it takes some of the steam out of bishop g4. He probably still has to play bishop g4 there. Yeah, what do Czech Grandmasters specialize in? I lost badly against Stochek. That was 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago. But that's a special line where black plays a6 right away. a6, a4. We would have transposed, I guess, to this kind of position on the board now. I mean, my temptation is always to play like f4, bishop f3, like a 4 pawns attack. I mean, I think this like transposes the 4 pawns attack. Like literally. That's not the only way to play, and it's certainly not the safest. I can play something quiet, like maybe queen c2. Guys, please subscribe or gift a subscription to a friend or someone else. To a friend or a stranger. Oh, yesterday was better. The simul went pretty well for being like someone who had my soul shattered yesterday morning with no sleep. I'm surprised I played as well as I did in my simul. I lost in such a sick way. What? Schieberspieler's here? You know, come to think of it, like Schieberspieler hasn't challenged on my stream in a long time. We haven't played in ages. I'm too weak now. Bishop e3. Do I really want to do that? This is the right plan, yes, for 4 pawns attack. But he has knight takes e4 here. Bishop e3, knight takes e4. What is happening? Bishop e3, knight takes e4, knight takes e4. f5, knight takes d6. Rook takes e3, knight takes c4. Okay, I'm not really fully buying that. Oh, Sheeberspiller's going to school. Okay, but I didn't understand why you mentioned him, Asterbait. I thought he was in the chat. Boarding school. I deserve to be 23-30. How can I lose on such a drawn position? It's like you can't even say I lost because I was in time pressure. I had more time than my opponent when I blundered. It's not really clear that that's why I lost. I was just tired. Bishop d4. I'm going to stop crying about it. Why did it hurt you so much? Well, I wouldn't mind if it was like a lost position. But it hurts to lose a drawn position. You know, when you pride yourself on good endgame play. That's pretty embarrassing. Ask if you had any friends, title friends who stream on Twitch. Ah. Yeah, we have a lot of friends. I mean, Tranquilizer, Sheeberspieler, among others. Bishop d4. Bishop c5. He's supporting bishop c5. Sorry, that's a knight. Yeah, knight. Whatever. Bishop c5 and then e5. Channel the Weedmaster. Weedmaster channel. My friend Joe plays the 4 pawns attack all the time. So I learned to play the 4 pawns attack. Really, I never learned it, but you learn by watching other people, right? I mean, I never really studied how to play this opening with white. It didn't start out as a 4 pawns attack, but I think it's a transposition. So this is probably a theoretical position for like mainline 4 pawns. I might be wrong on the tempos though. You know, it might be like one side or the other is up a move. I'm not certain. It looks awfully right to me. Rook c8 supports knight c5. Otherwise I would take it. Then start a battle with them the viewers will play against. Yeah, I'd like to do that sometime. Time is my situation. It's a little tricky. Because I'm teaching and doing other stuff, I'm not like just chess streaming is not the only thing I do. Rook e7. This gives this knight a fallback square. Also, mustache chess. We have a lot of friends we could do a team battle with. Yeah. Art Vega, Sheeberspieler, Tranquilizer, others. Hikaru, no. I haven't talked to Hikaru in years. We used to chat like time to time. Way back in the day. On the ICC. Like 15 years ago. Not team battle. Start a battle with them. With their viewers. I get it. I know what you mean. Okay, the center. Yeah. Love me some e5. This is a very natural move, right? What else are we trying to do here? This is the move we've been lusting to play for so long. Yep. And that's also a natural response. Immune response. So now we have a problem. Man, oh man. What do I do? Wow, that's really annoying. I just like lost my E pawn for nothing. The heck? The B pawn? Are you kidding me? You went for my B pawn? Whoa. Nothing bad could possibly happen here. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. What? Mate in 1 would be better. Okay, that was the most horrible meltdown for both sides that I've done in a while. Starting from like 10 moves ago. I mean, this was a pretty good game up till this point, right? I played e5, he takes, I take, he plays this, and I have a problem with my pawn. And then the game just like was totally awful after that. Wife battle. Don't they have that like, yeah, don't they have that like wife battles? Like lumberjacking or something like that? It's a real story. Aliakin played 32 simul blindfolded and 119. Well, I mean, Koltanowski was the big guy. He was the big blindfold guy. I don't know that story. But I suppose if anybody could do it, Aliakin could. I could maybe do 2 games or something. I mean, I haven't practiced blindfold in 20 years. I'm really not that good. You're obviously... Yeah, I don't know the story. Astrobate might know. Do we have any chess historians? Wife battle, chess lumberjacking. So what's happening here? Am I just screwed? I like overextended my e-pawn? No. Wow. But I didn't know what to play in this position. What am I supposed to play? Like, I have no e6. He just plays rook takes e6. I mean, just for argument's sake, like you even have rook takes. What do I do? Like bishop g4? I don't get it. What am I supposed to play here? d6? I mean, I'm not even threatening anything. You know, my queen is hanging. So, yeah, that's what it says. 32 blindfold games. That sounds like one of my cited simuls. Wow, 1934. In Chicago. What was that? Like the World's Fair or something? Najdorf did more. Uh-huh. Dude, what am I supposed to play in this position? Queen h4? Bishop g4 right away. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We both have less than 30 seconds, and I'm just totally freaking out about my center. I had to play this first. It's a very complicated position. 1924. I remember it well. Alright, so we've got Mr. Slowhand in the house with a challenge. Good to see you back again, Mr. Slow. I swindled him in a lost position. Sorry, Mr. Slow. It's winning by force, the rapport system. Well, at least a draw anyway. Sorry for the boring openings. I played the Berlin defense against Mr. Slow yesterday. Ronald says, accept my challenge, sir. Your Majesty, dude, or Mr. Bill. What am I going to do? Bishop c5? c3 right away. How to be an attacking chess player. Just never move backward. Aaron Sebastians, your list keeps losing, man. I can't accept challenges that aren't there, Aaron Sebastian. That's the only problem. If your challenge isn't there, it isn't there. I can't, make it appear. I'm not a magician, man. I'm a surgeon, Jim. Not a magician. Damn it. I can't make your challenge appear. You're Aaron 805. I mean, you keep having new accounts and stuff too, which is really confusing. Yeah, I'll try my best. Alright, d4. What am I doing? What is this? What is this? Halloween Gambit to Max. So, alright. We've got a challenge from Aaron, God. Those are the subscribers. If you're not a subscriber on Twitch, you'll have to wait. Please wait. Bedtime finally. Thanks, Mr. Miro. Man, I had the same game with Arsenal fan where he did this horrible move d5. That's really the wrong idea. Now bishop d7. We had this game. Oh, this is where he did it. Maybe it was this position. Come to think of it. But the other way white can play here is takes. I mean, I thought this was like main line. DE, knight takes e4, queen d5, knight c5, bishop g5, queen e8. Wait. Knight takes d4? What's up with that? Probably not good. Could play h6 or no. Does that work? h6? Bishop takes f6. h6, bishop f6, queen f6, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. I guess it works. Yeah, I'm not going to d8 here. I don't see how I'm getting out there. Q. Knight h5. Knight e5. I can play bishop e8, I guess. It's also a5. Knight c4. What about c6 attacking his center? Probably not good. So, alright. I get it. Sort of. Yeah, this I'm not in love with this, but we're going to do it. We're going to have to reposition some pieces here. Right. So which bishop do I want to give up? Yeah. We're going to do it this way. A little claustrophobia goes a long way. You're new to chess. You're genuine. Alright, that's fine. Javier. No. Jay Gomez. I don't know what his first name is. He's Jay Gomez. Jaque. Ajedrez. Jamonería. Alright. Let's do it, man. Bishop c8. Knight d7. But he has the bishop from hell. No, it's not a dream position for those two bishops. It's like a Nimzo or something. We're gonna make him work here. He's got a plan though. It's a King's Indian apparently. I was right. Mr. Sohan playing the white side of the King's Indian. No, I said Nimzo. It's everything. Nimzo. At least I don't have any bad pieces. Look, Ma, no bad pieces. We're coming with the kingside break. This is a good King's Indian, right? Baby. What do I do? Rook g8? Do we hold up? Do we try to hold up the queenside play? I think we gotta go. I gotta go. I'm sorry, I gotta go. We gotta go fast here. There's no time for nonsense. Now here I have a5, but he can pin me with rook a3. There's also this bishop h4 move that's pretty annoying. But not sure if that works. How much time do I have maneuvering wise? Not a lot. a5 rook a3. Brilliant. Transition to a King's Indian from the white side of the Roy Lopez. Alright. The knight on f6 is really making me angry. What are you doing, man? On f6. Maybe 98. Now we're talking. Yeah, I didn't want to play h4. I didn't want to lock it up completely. The G file's done now. Of all people, man, he's done a good job holding this together. But it's hard. What? No, he's actually a good King's Indian player on the black side. But that's a completely different game. He had bishop h1. I'm not sure if it was holding. You can see. It was a huge battle. We can see. Blunder. Yes. Lots of blunders. Blunder by me too. I was winning there. Wow. Alright. So the sack's winning. G4 was a mistake. Yeah, you should have just kept the game. This bishop h4 is a huge move. So if I ever go g4, he's got this trick at some point, I think. Bishop h4. It's not so easy for me to break through. I'm an attacking player. Well, I don't think you can be a passive player, really, and be any good. But I'm not overly like one-dimensional with the attacking. No, you know, I don't think that's my style. I like to attack, but my whole game isn't geared around just attacking. I'm more technical. We're all around. Good defender. When I'm not losing drawn endings, I'm generally a good defender. Aaron is playing another game. So we're going to play God Shankar. Couldn't wait. We'll play God first. Thanks, Mr. Slow, for a good game. Also, I mean, some people play this really psycho-aggressive attacking style. That's not me. I try to be pretty much universal. I don't like this opening, but I play it for fun. Yesterday against Astrobate. Actually, Astrobate, how did you end up in this? Normally, you... I'm coming to think about it now, Astrobate. I don't remember playing this against you before. What did you do in the past when I played the Scandinavian with knight f6? You had a very nice tech game at IAM tournament. Yeah, I mean, I can. When the situation arises. But I mean, that even that was, yeah. Well, I mean, born out of necessity. He forced me to do that. But even that is like a counterattack. I'm a better counterattacker than I am an attacker. I'm a doctor of... Doctor, no. The game looks like an Aliakin, but I mean, it's a relative. It's a relative, but the D pawn's off the board, and the E pawn's off the board. They're closely related. Yeah, I mean, I think the Aliakin and the Scandinavian have a lot in common. They're definitely in the same families. You said a while ago that you're a surgeon. Maybe it was lost, you know, and it was an analogy, you know. I was making an analogy to something. That wasn't meant like literally. But maybe I should go. I don't have steady enough hands to be a surgeon, unfortunately. Never believe anything you see on the internet would be my first advice to you. Pongo looks like he passed out. Random info chance. Doctor, okay. Sounds familiar. What is our random info for today? I didn't really see anything interesting in the news today. Our morning news scan didn't really come up with anything great. Oh, I played knight e5. I guess this is a mistake. Yesterday we had a game with knight a5. Yeah, this may be a serious to minor inaccuracy. It's actually better to go to a5. Oh, that's like my game with you, Astrobate. That was what I had with Astrobate yesterday. Not the exact same position. Maybe it was? It was. Or was your bishop on e3 already? Astrobate, did you do the exact same move? No, knight e5 isn't as good. This isn't as good for me. Yep. I'm supposed to play this. Knight a5. I think. If it doesn't lose a piece or something. Knight e5, c5. Bishop takes c3 check. Pawn takes, knight takes d5. Chess Super League. No. I don't know what that is. I think it must be something new. I'm excited for the World Championship coming up in November. If it has to do with playing online chess, I'm not really excited. I'm a believer in over-the-board chess. You can't have online chess because people will always cheat. Online chess is fine for practice. But at the end of the day, it's never going to work. Alright. Everybody has a bad tournament, though, you know. I mean, they were at a disadvantage, I think, the Chinese players, to some degree. COVID restrictions was affecting them pretty badly. When he had to, like, I don't know what the conditions were like. They're like prisoners in a hotel room or something before the candidates tournament. I mean, who knows? That tournament should have been postponed, you know. Even more or whatever. An online chess thingy going on in St. Louis. Astrobate, the US Chess Championship is going on in St. Louis. That is not an online chess thingy. I don't like Sinkfield taking over US chess and making his private little play thing because he's a freaking billionaire. But still, you know, it's the US Championship. I respect that. Even though it's been hijacked by a billionaire. I wouldn't go to St. Louis if you paid me. Okay. What am I doing? Yeah, let's be rational. Why doesn't Rex Sinkfield just like buy the US Chess Federation and turn into his private organization or something? Every US championship for the rest of history will be held in St. Louis, Missouri. I think that's disgusting. This is a tournament. It's supposed to honor the entire country. You don't have the US championship every year in the same place. Okay? That's just wrong. It's just completely wrong. I can't even begin to express how wrong that is. But the problem is the poor US Chess Federation, as always, has very bad management, has no money, so they let Sinkfield do whatever he wants. You know, okay, Rex, have the US Championship in St. Louis for like 300 years in a row. Yeah, this is good for white. I don't like this line. Again, as I said, I think 95 was a mistake for me. Billionaires do ruin everything. They're so greedy. How do you think you got so rich? Everybody's like, oh, he's a billionaire. He's sponsoring chess. I don't care, man. I don't want to have the US Championship in St. Louis for the rest of my life. Okay, bishop e4. Bishop takes c3. Bishop f5. Another blunder. This is my other brother blunder. He could have played queen takes c3. Luckily he's in time pressure. He's just like got two bishops. I just gave up my good bishop for nothing. With bishop takes c3, double question mark, blunder. Queen takes c3, clear advantage to white. It's already clear advantage. It's like winning massive advantage to white after queen takes c3. Now it's only slightly better for white. Actually, black's okay here. I think black's just okay here. We're holding. Well, big ideas, anyone? Queen e5, bishop c6, e5. Don't think this was a great move. I don't think rook takes d4 was a great move. I should have taken with the pawn. Another brilliant decision. Just keep racking up the brilliancies. Entree. Kind of entree would you like? Asbury's just here for the entrees. Now, I don't know about this. Seriously? He's gonna draw this ending with perfect technique. Totally drawn. Good. Good. I think that's it. We got him. Wow. Just by a tempo. Why did you play f5? Because I didn't see f4? Doesn't matter. It's a win. It's a win. This is a win. It's all that matters is winning. No, I'm just kidding. So f5, yeah, I mean f5 wasn't the right color for my pawns. Why I didn't play f5? Oh, I never did. Right. Yeah, that was my plan originally to play f5 here. But I thought, what's the difference? I'll play it later. But let's see. Yeah, I could have played f5 now. Well, I did play f5 now. No, I played king f6 first. I'm not sure this would dramatically change anything. Like, if I played f5, he still plays f4. Winning position, apparently. I was always winning here? Barely? Like, by one tempo? Wow. Pretty surprising, actually. I expected this was a draw. Yeah, a4 is a bad move. So I'm winning. Alright. Oh, later when I swap pawns. Later. Why didn't I play f5? Oh, f5, like... Well, I need to get my king in the center first. You're right, yeah. Now why not f5? Well, I mean, I saw I could tie him down. You know, and I wanted to get my king in here. No, it was good. His really bad move was a4. We have a request to join the team. Spider-Man. Alright, these guys are subscribers. Aaron, in Hungarian, Aaron. It was a clean win. But the opening was bad. When I swapped the h-pawn. Oh. Well, no, my pawn's on f5 and g6. With that pawn remaining on g5 could be tricky. I'm not certain I want to do that. You know, that's dangerous. I mean, I could even lose. He still has a pawn on the board. And my pawns are stuck on the white squares. I mean, his king could get in or his bishop could get in. You know, I mean, it's tricky. I couldn't calculate if I was winning or it was a draw, to be honest. But it felt like, you know, it's lower risk not to play f5 there. I thought about it. But I didn't have time to calculate. I mean, it was just based on intuition. I wanted to eliminate the chance of losing. Yeah, I mean, you saw me hesitate, and I almost played f5, but again, like, I did not calculate all the way. If it was a tournament game, I would never ever make that move, you know, without fully calculating. I could calculate the entire endgame out at that point, but man, he didn't even hesitate when I played knight f6. Didn't even hesitate. Just insta-moved it. That's weird. This is a very rare move. People generally are like, what's that? You know, when they're 1500. He didn't even think twice. Surprising. Very surprising. Usually 3 knight f6 at least causes people to use a few seconds. Yeah, I didn't see how I was gonna get my king in fast enough. And obviously, like I said, it's a lower risk move. Objectively, maybe I should play like bishop g4 here. This actually doesn't look bad. Schieber Spieler. Schieber Spieler team captain. I don't think bishop g4 makes a lot of sense here. Pinning nothing. What am I doing with that? Schieber Spieler, you should be studying. Ah, bishop h6, yes. This was his plan all along. Yeah, I'm not much here. Little better. Center pawn. Bishop b2 is quite passive. Feels passive for white. Maybe I should play e5. Taking a break from studying? You know, it's sometimes good to just play a game of chess and go back to studying. It's a good system. Kind of alternate. Get your mind on a different thing a little bit. Break up the monotony, as they say. Did you stop by the Simon last night? I didn't see you if you were there. I don't remember. Maybe you were. Game of chess in the evening with streaming. Oh, you're gonna game of chess in the evening with streaming? Wow. You're gonna game of chess in the evening with streaming. This is quite an interesting move. Hello. How about e4? Can I do e4? Then he just plays 92. What the hell is going on here? Last visit on Wednesday. Oh my god, what is happening here? What? Oh, it's like a bullet addict. Another bullet addict. You're sure you're not Ripun Bansal, right? You're not high enough rated. What the hell is going on? Wait, rook is attacked. If rook e8... Damn, dude, you're like psycho aggressive. Knight h4. I don't know how he could be any more aggressive. This is disturbing. What? Are you for real? Why are you offering me a draw? You're like down a piece. I was honestly concerned that he might have some serious compensation, but I still would never, I would never accept a draw up a piece. Very strange. Moment to offer a draw. Clearly. What is Ponda play against Knight f3? Ponda? I think he's playing d5. He's got this classical repertoire thing going on. Yeah, this bullet stuff is just bad. Bad for you. I mean, it's one thing if you're like a master or Magnus Carlsen, but too many people are like, they think that's the normal way to play chess. White just like threw the whole game away for no reason. Because he's playing too fast. You got a lot of time. You need to use it. Alright, Excel Poker, J. Gomez Garcia. These guys are subscribers to the Twitch stream. You gotta slow down. This is not... Yeah, of course rapid is good for improvement. I would recommend you play at least 10 minutes, or the equivalent thereof. You've got to at least have 10 minutes to play a chess game if you want to get something serious out of it. But White's just playing really, really ridiculously fast the last game. Against a stronger player. I mean, how's that going to work? Anti-King's Indian. This is my anti-King's Indian move. It's not great, but it's okay. It's enough for equality for white. But I find that it works well because people don't really know how to handle this system. Objectively, it's not dangerous for black. Last week, I agreed to a draw when my opponent played like 12 moves of theory in this line with black. I was like, whatever. All right. Actually, I lost to Baraskolko once with black. That's why I started playing it. WJ Loof subscribed to tier 1. 27 months. Good morning. Hope everything is good. Good with you. Good morning. It is a good morning. I had a bad Saturday. Bad Sunday. I had a bad period, but it's getting better. Personally. I lost an unlosable position on Sunday. Alright. I showed everyone this endgame blunder I made. Sick. Walking around, I thought it was totally drawn, and then I find like a way to lose. What's up, WJ Loof? I hope things have been getting better for you. We had a rough weekend, but we're well rested. Another week of chess streaming here and whatnot. This is my game from last week, ironically. My exact game from last week against Samosh Koji Gabor, who's a FIDE master. But this was the exact game. Blunders are meant to be played. So I offered a draw here to last week's opponent in the Hungarian Team Championship with H takes G. The computer says that white is slightly better, like plus 0.2. I don't really agree, you know. My team captain was like, why did you draw? I just don't really like this line for white, to be perfectly honest. So black, you know, this guy is 1700. 2000 rapid. He knows the line. Now, Samosh Koji also mentioned this move after the game. You know, that traditionally was never a main move. I don't personally like bishop f5. FIDE Master Bill Schill played f5 against me, and that was also played by a friend of mine, Igor Feugl, famously in the US Championship. f5 is very sharp, but probably good if black is careful. E6 also transposes to a modern Benoni. I think that's fine. Dr. Nunn. I've had blitz games with people like Mihai Marin, Nunn, with E6. But I saw in the opening explorer, there were actually some games with like bishop f5. And it's interesting that Samosh Koji mentioned it too. I never really thought it was like a big deal, or even the right plan for black, but I guess it's okay. I suppose it's okay. You know, the danger is that the white square bishops get exchanged. That's not necessarily good for black. The compactor. Fire up the compactor. I had a game with a Norwegian FM in a position kind of similar to this. Like, I almost fell out of my chair when he played like bishop takes c3, like a Leningrad Nimzo. It's probably playable though, you know. It's not that bad to play bishop takes c3. f4. But thank you for the sub, WJ Loof. You're doing better. How's our stream doing? We're better today. Yesterday we had a lot of drop frames. Also, my mic just like stopped working, and now it's magically better. No drop frames. The mic is magically better. I didn't do anything. I turned my computer off, turned it back on this morning. Isn't technology wonderful? Maybe Windows fixed their... Actually, I didn't have to download any Windows updates. Luke and Han. Dude, that's so funny, Astrobate. No, I had the Star Trek trash compactor playset when I was a kid. Just recently, like 2 years ago, I sold all my Star Trek toys on eBay. Maybe you saw that, but I couldn't find the trash compactor. No, it was cool. I love the trash compactor. Don't hit the mute button. I don't know, man. I don't think the mute button was the issue. It could have been. Who knows? Why would my built-in work but not my external mic if I hit the mute button? Is that possible? Does the mute button only work? Turn it on and off. Yeah, that's the classic first rule. That's classic Hungarian computer science department. Maybe just everywhere, right? It's not just in Hungary, but did you try turning it off and on? Yeah, a good friend of ours who's a computer guy would always subscribe to the same theory. It's magic. It works like magic. Yeah, I mean, this bishop is so strong. That's why I offered a draw last week to my opponent. It's just sitting there. I'm like, man, I just feel uncomfortable when I see that bishop sitting there. G3 also, I think my trash compactor was kind of a bluff. I don't really want to do the trash compactor. It's scary. The trash compactor is scary. F4, pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn, queen e7, king f2. Now how the heck do I defend my e3 pawn? I don't know, man. It's so, like, it's so easy if you're a computer here. But I'm not sure as a human if I like my game. River guarding rook. I don't play Chinese chess, but that's apparently a big thing. The river. The river's actually like up here in Chinese chess. I can't even draw it, but in between the 4th and 5th rank, like the middle of the board. Lead master plays Chinese chess. I guess he's half Chinese. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Queen e7, excellent move. Played like a master. He's playing like a master. That's the problem with these damn 1800s. They're always like masters. Jay Gomez Garcia plays the opening well, I have to say. The pawns, the kingside bluff with like f4. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, but I really don't have much experience with this. With this bishop f5, bishop g6 thing. I'm just trying to be safe. Stay safe, friend. I have no plan. Just sit and wait. Sit and wait. If I castle, I take the pressure off of h6, so that's down the proverbial toilet. That's why I'm not going to do that. I don't want to like give him free reign on like just abandoning his h pawn. You know, this is a nuisance that he has to keep that protected. King h7. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Wow. The Wookiee. He had bishop takes c3 followed by bishop e4 there. Well, I guess there I would just play bishop d3 anyway. Okay. That's not a problem. Black timed out. Could you play f5? I don't think that he's worse here. I mean, see, this is why I don't play this variation anymore. Black was actually better at some point for king f1. Yeah, okay, it's a stupid move. What am I supposed to play here? I don't have a move. You know, there's no plan. f4. Freaking f4. That's the trash compactor, right? This is like extremely scary for white. See, the computer is like Norwegian guy. Bishop takes c3. Magnus Sagafos. That was it. He's an IM now. You can just trade here at some point. And then there's no knight. You know, the point is that there's no knight d5. If you do, this is the point, right? If I play f4 and you take here, you get knight take d5, and your life is a living hell. But if you take here first, that's not a problem, right? Rook takes, and now you can do whatever you want. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. I like the e-file. This is really fun. Hey, nice e-file. But at least the river guarding rook protects that square. So now I'm only like slightly worse. I need a better opening repertoire, clearly. Alright, Excel Poker's up next. Casual 3-0 doesn't fly. I don't play bots, especially ones that are rated 2700. Well, that's weird. I don't play people who are playing other games. Simulink. Let's go. Excel Poker. Yeah, it's difficult to get that bishop. That's why I was saying I like almost literally fell out of my chair when Sagafos played bishop takes c3. I was like, whoa, what? It's like black's best piece in the board. I mean, but it, you know, in the case of when he did it, like I didn't have a rook on a3, so it makes more sense to do it if it's going to be like the river guarding rook, guarding. It's Chinese chess, from what I understand. Chinese chess principles. W.J. Loof. Not guardian, but guarding. Okay, let's play Queen's Gambit. Excel Poker plays SLADGIE, or Queen's Gambit. No, maybe it's semi-Slav pawn triangle. No triangles. No triangles allowed. How much do I hate the semi-Slav? Yeah, another place. My repertoire just sucks. Ah, but what is this? But what is this? It's okay, right? You can do like bishop e4 check. I can do knight fd2. This is anti-Cambridge Springs. But that's Chinese chess I'm talking about, not chess. I don't mean like Chinese players, mythos, or theory about chess. I mean, we're talking about literal Chinese chess, where there's the river on the board. That's the strategy, and from what I understand. Knight on bd7, which is not much. Knight on bd7. We've avoided the Cambridge Springs, even though he doesn't play that. And now, so knight c3 allows the Cambridge Springs again. The point was to not allow the Cambridge Springs. Correct? So what do I do? The River Guardian. It sounds like something from Minecraft. The Guardian. First you take the shears. You attack the seagrass with the shears. Okay, what is this? This looks a little early. Knight d2 unprovoked? That can't be right, master. Maybe bishop e2. Bishop d3. I'm gonna suspect I can play bishop d3. This can't be right. How bad is it? Maybe not that bad, but c6, e3, knight on bd7. What the hell am I supposed to play? You can play knight on bd2, but then I'm concerned about h6. I don't want to trade my knight. I mean my bishop for his knight on f6 for nothing. Queen a5 though. Whoa. What are we doing? We're transposing to the Cambridge Springs now anyway? Master. Arnold Daker played knight e4 against me. An epic game I won in New York Open. I don't care, man. Play the Cambridge Springs. That's not your normal repertoire. The Simpsons. Meet the Simpsons. This is where Danker played knight e4. And it was later played against me by another player. But that's not the main line. That's just a sideline. It's not even supposed to be good for black. This is a sharp opening. I tried to play the anti-Cambridge Springs and I ended up playing the Cambridge Springs. How does that work? Man, I really need like an opening coach. If I actually knew a fair amount of theory, I probably could have been a GM. Openings have always been my weak spot. I think. Could have been a contender. I could have been a weak GM. I always wanted to be a weak GM. Just for the free beer. Free bonuses. But I feel like there's something wrong with this position. I guess this is right. I could easily be a weak GM right now and have the same rating and it would be like totally normal. $23.30, $23.40 GM. I just saw this tournament in Serbia. It's ridiculous. You're making fun of 2,300 GMs. This Bulgarian guy, Milko Popchev, is literally a 2,200 Grandmaster. I mean, he's like, what? I don't know. 60 or less, and he's 2,200. He was 2400 or 2395 when I played him like 20 years ago. What the heck is Queen D5? Remember that Excel Poker plays a semi-Slav, not the Cambridge Springs. This looks like some kind of failed move from the Aliakin Uva match or something. One of Uva's bad ideas. Like, what are we doing? A3 takes, queen takes. Aliakin would eat you alive. But he stops me from castling. Kingside. It's interesting. And I'm running out of time. Alright. St. Louis, Isle of Man. The Isle of Man's actually pretty cool. Not a lot to do there, though. It's not the most entertaining place in the world. Would Aliakin play f3? I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely not Disney World. Well, maybe now it's different though. I mean, I was there before like Poker Stars based themselves and they started doing all this offshore stuff. I mean, there's probably just a little office there, but it's an offshore investing haven for wealthy British people trying to hide their money from the government. Well, not just British. It's an offshore tax haven. An alternative to Switzerland or the Caribbean to hide your illegally gotten money. Masturbate. The Isle of Money. They should change the name. That's a good name. Isle of Money. Alright, seriously. Yes! The tactical buzzsaw. Dude. Whatever, man. Huh. Huh. Gay back. Give back to the community. Give back to your community. I think he actually probably missed something there. But I sure missed knight takes f4. Well, I saw it right before he played it, but it's a little too late at that point. Isn't that funny how it works like that? You always see it right before they play it. Unless you don't. It's like if you're going to get hit by a bus, I mean, do you want to see it coming? You'd be better off not seeing it coming, right? If you're going to get hit by it, there's no way to avoid it. You'd rather not see it coming. With knight takes f4, I saw it coming. Right as it was about to hit me. Uber driver, he drew this like really ugly ending similar to this against me. Wow, he's going for like full-on king activity. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of stupid for black to lose. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you were even worse. Obviously, after knight takes f4, he was probably winning. I'm lucky that I even survived that blunder. But by then, we had no time left. He's kind of like me. He always uses his time, but gets himself in time pressure. He's good in time pressure, but still. Should we get ourselves in time pressure? So knight takes f4 actually doesn't work. Wow. I'm just completely lucky that this doesn't work. I thought I was like worse here. Okay, so rook d7. And I saw bishop d3, but I had no idea if this works or not. I didn't think I was better. I was like, if I'm equal, I'm happy here. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I saw like 95 drops a piece, and so I was going to play bishop d3. But I would have thought like white was slightly worse or something. Surprisingly, after queen h5, Stockfish still says that white is better. I mean, I don't know. I'm down the exchange for a pawn here, but I do have a strong knight on e5. And all my pieces are active. So it's a game. Just lucky that I wasn't lost after that blunder. But I think finally in the endgame he was okay at some point. Not easy to play though. Here. Alright guys, how much time do we have left? We have 20 minutes. 2 games. Normally I have to leave at 1:15, but I think I can go 2 games. Spider-Man Webb is playing. So we're going to take this challenge against Ronak. Or Ronak. Thanks, El Poker, for coming by. WJ Loof, are you still here? Have you been to Isle of Man? I was there in 1999. I'm sure it's a lot different now. Yep. Back in the days, the early days. The Asterbaidish. Accelerated Dragon, Marazzi. You're here? And no, unfortunately. Oh. Well, I was wondering what you were talking about. What looks like one big convention center when you said that. That sounds like Vegas. No, I just didn't understand your convention center response. I wasn't sure. Wow, the H3 variation. Transposing to the King's Indian. Dude, that's pretty deep. Really? Oh, you had a panel you're supposed to be on. All the photos I got, a bunch of conference room settings. That's not very fun. All I got was a stupid t-shirt. Yeah, I don't like A4. Oh my god. Last two games. We'll be back tomorrow night with It's Not Halloween Week, Astrobate. Next week will be our Halloween theme tournament. This is a normal week for Blitz tomorrow night. Following week we'll have a thematic tournament in honor of Halloween. Keep your powder dry, Astrobate. I know how much you like Halloween, but it's only October 18th. Wowie zowie. What are we going to do nowy? That is not a good move for white. Was not, is not, and will never be. He lost his central pawn. Premium chicken nuggets. Premium chicken nuggets. Do you even English? Time to hunker. I'm hunkering. Dhruv Goal is here. Be afraid. Yo, an April Fool. I see. We're just gonna play it safe. Oh my god. Okay. can I do? Wow. That is a very interesting move, which I did not anticipate. I doubt it's good. Get me out of here now. Mega Pawn. It's known as a protected pass pawn. Or you can just call him Super Pawn, if you prefer. That is game over. It's the ultimate in pawn technology. He resigned. Alright, last game. Dhruv goal. Because Spider is playing another game. I don't like playing people who are doing simuls. That's why I am not taking his challenge. Alright. Dhruv goal, last game for today. We're playing a Sicilian. Taking a break from the classical stuff. We always have good battles with Dhruv goal. Well, like most people, you play too fast. A4 was a bad move in the opening. You lost your advantage with that move. But you didn't slow down like once you started to make mistakes. Mega pawn. It's a mega pawn. The one thing I've learned more than anything else, WJ Loof, is the importance of the center. The more I stream, the more clear it becomes. Weaken the b3 square. It puts your pawns on white squares. It weakens b4, b3. It gives you less flexibility on the queen side. Generally not a great move. But it's not enough to be worse, you know. It's probably a draw after that. Probably. I had a very similar game with Morales yesterday. Morales. Oh no. Le fishing pole. I feel like the Muppet Chef. Swedish Chef. But the fishing pole doesn't really work here. I mean, knight g4, g3, it's not such a big deal. Actually. Is it? Did he take 95? I mean, maybe it's fun. It's the last game for today. Gonna play the fishing pole. It's playable. Not great. Omega pawn. That's even more deadly. I don't think I've ever had an Omega pawn. We had a really nice knight earlier. The Death Knight. What was it? Mega Knight. We had Mega Knight an earlier game that was a draw. Mega Knight was like on c3, and even being down a pawn didn't matter with the Mega Knight. In a knight endgame, normally like being down a pawn is very, very bad. But when you have Mega Knight, it just doesn't matter. It was so influential in the way the position was structured. So he's now melting. Meltathon. Knight f3, queen f3, knight e5. Queen g3 there. D6. Bishop f4, knight c4, and white has some compensation, but objectively not sure. But there are other options. I can play knight e5 directly. Knight e5, knight e5, queen e5, rook e1, and then where to go, that's the question. Maybe like queen f5, actually. I'm not sure, he might play f4. I don't really like f4 that much, because the bishop's really stymied by f4. I don't think that white has enough compensation for the sacrificed pawn, but he might have some. You know, he might have a significant amount of compensation. Comp and circumstance. I could play, this is kind of funny, I could play queen takes e1, but then queen e1, knight c2, and my knight will get trapped on a1. It's not that good. It's not good. Ronak started to play chess 5 months ago. Wow. That is a quick progression. I started to play chess. Well, I learned how to play the moves when I was maybe like 7. But I didn't really learn the rules properly till later. The age of 12. I got very into chess. We're getting close to 4 decades. Not quite yet. Decades. Decade, Neil Young. Alright, so it's like a queen f5 or queen b8. f5 or b8? f5 or b8? You could go to c7, but you're just inviting knight d5. I don't see the point of that. So queen b8 or queen f5? Queen f5. Queen f5, knight d5. What am I going to do then? Bishop d6. This is going to be a little hairy. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. I agree. I don't remember my last birthday after 39. Definitely. We're not getting older. Thanks everybody for supporting the stream. Thanks WJ Loof for subbing earlier. Mondays are a little slow. We had a good simul yesterday after my nightmare weekend. I guess if c3, knight f5. So that's why that must be why I didn't play queen b5. Can we play something else here? Knight c6, bishop f4. It's possible, of course. Knight f5 looks kind of awkward. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it this way. I mean, this is a very dangerous situation. Clearly, bishop f4 was expected there. I am getting the beep out of here. But I suppose f4 might not be a bad move. Get me out of here now. It's a very, very dangerous attack for white. Maybe I best not even do that. King f8 is possible. It's like a Milner-Barry. I probably have to play king f8. Wow. Castles are just too dangerous. Good call, me. Did you see this line, like knight f6 check, king h8, queen h4, threatening mate? Yeah, I'm getting mated if I take. And then he has like h6, f5, threatening bishop takes h6. It's horror show. I don't know if it's sound, but it looked extremely scary for black. Guys, join the Pawn and Horses Club. If you join our team, tomorrow night you can be in our tournament. Every Tuesday night at 6:30 Central European Summertime, PM. We're hosting either a Rapid or Blitz tournament. Can you please step off my chalupa? Pawn takes, queen takes. It's probably not sound, but it's still scary. Scary! Bishop takes. Glad I saw that move. Wow, I didn't even see that. Are we all surprised? Are we at all surprised? A firm believer in materialism. Okay, f6 may not be a bad idea. But it might be. It could be a very bad one, actually. Yeah. I get it. How about king g8 at some point? I don't know. I'm just gonna give back material. Right? Was that a good idea? Eh, not the best. Sort of panicked here. Panic player. Panic, panic. Really didn't need to give him a piece back. It's completely uncalled for. Why don't I take on f3 and wreck his structure? I'm really not very sharp here. No, I wanted him to have a better structure. That's why I didn't do that. I want to make sure he has a good structure. Seriously. Whoa. No, no, no. No, no, no. Hmm. Last game. Good battle. Man, this is getting ugly. Offers a take back. Yeah. Alright. Game over. We were lucky there. Good game. I'll see you guys later. Thanks everyone for joining us, for subscribing. When you're done, can you give some pointers on bishops versus rooks endgames? Bishops versus rooks endgames. Don't lose. Do you want me to give you pointers on bishops versus rook endgames? Here's the game I lost yesterday. Are you serious? How not to lose in a bishop versus rook endgame. Look at this. Where's the freaking board, man? Board editor. Clear board. Here's a pointer. How to lose a drawn endgame. I'm a real expert. Check this out. How to lose after 5 hours of virtual pain. Wait to play. WJ Loof, I have to go, but you can see how I lost yesterday. The first thing you have to understand, what's really important here in this endgame is that rook versus bishop is a draw. When you establish the fact that rook versus knight or rook versus bishop, when there's no pawns on the board, in most cases there are some exceptional positions where you can blunder or something. Here's my game from yesterday where I walked away from the board confident that I was a draw. Came back, my opponent played rook a1. Now my basic premise here was like, there's no way I can lose. Okay? Both my pawns are guarded, and you can't checkmate me by force. My problem was that I had this earlier situation where I couldn't let his king into f4, and it was in my mind, like, I don't want to let his king to f4, I don't want to let his king into f4. But it doesn't matter if his king comes into f4. Before it was like, you can come into f4, come into g3, and eat my pawn on h3, but all my pawns are covered. Everything's protected. How is black going to win this position? You know, it's ridiculous. And I'm sitting there like waiting for him to offer me a draw, walking around. 5 hours into the game, I sit down, he plays rook a1, and I'm like, okay, well, I have endless waiting moves with my bishop. Bishop c8, bishop b7, bishop c8, bishop b7. It's okay, whatever, you know, he can't win. He's just enjoying, like, torturing me. There was no h-pawns on the board. They used to be. They were formerly on the board. But I played h4 and traded my h-pawn on g5 for his h-pawn. So what's the move to play here for white, WJ Loof? What is white's correct move in this position? No cheating, anybody. Don't look at the engine. What does white do to draw the game? I had this stupid fixation in my mind, like I don't want to let his king into f4, but there's no reason why I can't let his king into f4. In fact, I have to let his king into f4 because I didn't want to like let his king make progress. So king g2, king f4, you know, a beginner would probably make the same mistake I did, assuming like, oh, well, he's making progress, right? But he's not. Like, this, you can't win here. This is guarded, this is guarded, this is guarded. It's really no different than if it was just rook against bishop, essentially. I cannot lose this position. I just moved my king. Every time he moves his king, I move my king. He moves his king, I move my king. If he moves his rook somewhere, he has to stay on this line, or else I'm going to promote. There's no way to win. So Not king h3, obviously, but what I didn't realize is there is a way for black to win. I thought there's no way that black can win. So I was just like, whatever. I played bishop c8. Okay, this is a terrible move. The problem is now I'm not threatening a7 if his rook moves off the a file. What I failed to appreciate, you know, was like, okay, if rook c1, bishop, sorry, I don't know, if he attacks my bishop or something, I can go here, it's still a draw. I'm threatening a7. What I failed to appreciate was he can play rook check, drive me off to the side of the board, and then hit my bishop. And it's like, yeah, I'm threatening a7, but it's too late because he has king f2. And now my king has been like driven to the side of the board. And black is actually threatening rook c7 and rook h7, which is mate. So I can get mated, but not on the side you thought I was going to get mated. I'm getting mated on the right side. But you've always got to be active. All the stuff has to work here. I mean, if we're down the exchange, we have to have some compensation for that. What's our compensation? It's this pawn on a6. That's my compensation. Otherwise, I'm lost. You know, if there's no pawn on a6, I'm definitely losing here. My compensation is my pawn on a6. The problem is now I'm getting mated. After king g2, there's no way for black to win. You know, so I'm not a master of rook versus bishop endgames either. But we have to have compensation. Our compensation is the pawn. If our king is good, WJ Loof, then white might even be winning here. No, let's just say board editor. Let me see. Put the white king on a good square. If you put the white king on a really good square, like c5 or something, I mean, what's going on? Or even like d4, f4 here. You know, give me a good king on top of my pawn on a6, and then black's probably lost, I would imagine. Even with like black to play. Wow, he's not lost. Okay, he's not lost. He can trade off all the pawns. Yeah, f5. Takes. King f5. Right. King c5. g4. Okay, it's just a draw. And he sacrifices the rook. But I mean, it's like, whatever. There has to be a balance in the position. If you're down a rook for a bishop, you know, you're down material. But do you have some offsetting factor to counter that? One pawn is often enough. You know, you have to have strong pawns. In the game, and a good king is helpful. In the game, you see, I had very strong king and very strong pawns to compensate. You know, rarely is a bishop as strong as a rook, although sometimes they can be. All right, guys, I gotta go. Anyway, you can share my painful loss with me. I will see you, everyone, tomorrow night. See you, everyone, tomorrow night for our team tournament. Blitz Swiss in 9 rounds, 6:30 CST. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.